Welcome to the 7 days of yoga. I'm so excited. There was a lot of response for this, and this is just me kind of really going off a whim because I do not do this kind of stuff. I said that I wasn't going to join the Zoom train, and I lied. So here I am. I hope you're happy to see me. Mic's off. A couple of housekeeping notes for you, just so that I can make sure all is well on the Zoom side. So we do have a full hour. We're not going to get cut off at the 40 minutes. So if we want to stay an extra a little longer or chat afterwards, I'm more than happy to do that. As always, we're going to be mindful of your injuries or limitations. So no red light pains today or any day. We're okay with subtle sensations like a yellow light sensation. And as always, we want to make sure that we're listening to our body. If you have an intention that you would like to set, I'd like you to just kind of bring that to your mind right now. As you kind of relax and get yourself settled, no rush. All right, so we're going to start in a reclined position today. So now that I've got you guys all settled and seated, we're going to lay down. If you have a blanket, I'm not sure if you could see in the meeting notes that there is a blanket. That would be helpful, and blocks. If you have them, they could be helpful as well. If you don't have them, no big deal. If you don't have blocks, a book will work too, or a couple of thicker books stacked on top of one another. So there's not going to be any music today. So if you want to have a little bit of music going on in your background, you guys are muted, you're welcome to, because I am recording this. I'm not allowed to play music. So when you're ready, we're going to lie down on our back. You could use your blanket as a little bit of a pillow if you like, and take a bend in the knees, lower yourself down, and then take some time to settle. Let's just place the hands on the belly. Relax the shoulders. Allow the feet to press into the floor to take a little bit of the tension out of the low back. You can soften your eyes. And then just start in with some deeper breath. And allowing yourself to really come into your space and onto your mat. And give a gentle rock of the head side to side. And just massaging the back of the skull. And then once you find yourself back in that centered position, and take a moment to clear the palate, maybe swallow, allow the jaw to relax, move side to side. And then in this space, come to your intention. If you have one, your dedication, maybe you're dedicating this to someone special or even just to yourself. We want to bring some meaning into this time. And then from here, if it feels okay, we can extend one leg and then the other. And if you need a little bit of support beneath your knees, you're welcome to have that rolled up blanket or a bolster if you have one. And if a straight leg position doesn't feel good for you, that bent knee position is okay, but maybe we just take the feet a little bit further away. We'll take our left hand and place it somewhere on the chest near the heart, and then your right hand onto your belly. And then I want you to start to breathe into that right hand. Allow the belly to press into the palm and feeling the hand relax. Take a nice deep breath in and a full exhale. And then release the hands back down by your side, palms facing down. We'll take that deep bend back in the knees, bring the heels towards the bum. And then from here, the palms will press down in towards the floor. The feet will press into the floor, and just a gentle lift. Lift the low back off of the ground, not too high. And then maybe there's a rock side to side. Maybe a little shift or tilt to the pelvis. And then lower back down again. Take the right foot and cross it over top of your left knee. And then gently rock between the pinky toe edge and the big toe edge of your foot. Just working in your own range of motion. And then we'll uncross, cross the left over top of the right. And repeat. Back and forth. And then we'll uncross. One more time, planting the feet, bringing them close towards the bum. Palms press down in towards the earth. Gentle press of the feet, lift the hips. And then purposely dropping each side of your pelvis, side to side. And then once you feel equal and even, lower back down. Cross the right foot over top of the left knee. Rock it from side to side. Maybe this time we've got a little bit more space. Maybe the hands come a little further away from the body. Your range of motion, whatever that looks like. Uncross the right, cross the left. Open up, side to side. Once you're equal and even, we'll uncross one more time. Lengthen the legs fully. Taking the arms, reach them over and above your head. Big stretch here. Maybe you roll the wrists and the ankles. Point and flex. And then from this position, we're going to come into banana. So we're walking the feet over towards the bottom left corner of your mat. And then gently walking the upper body up and over to the top left corner of your mat. Then in this space, we want to relax through the upper back. Relaxing the arms and shoulders. Maybe that means that you bend a little bit more in the shoulders. And if it feels okay, take your gaze towards the left side. Allow your breath to deepen all the way up and down that right side body. If you want a little bit of a variation, we can cross the right foot over top of the left and gently press through the soles of the feet. Maybe the arms reach a little bit more. And then your inhale will bring the gaze back through neutral, the arms to follow, the legs to follow, and then up and over towards the other side. So be mindful of your mobility. Maybe you've got more space on one side than the other. Take some time to settle and open and breathe. Taking the gaze over the right shoulder if it feels okay. Maybe crossing the ankle. And just notice what the little subtle movements do in your body. What's your neurological response? How's the breath? Can you bring a little more softness into the tight spaces? Gaze back to center. Arms to follow. Legs to follow. Arms come down by your side. Take a bend in the knees. Full deep breath in and out. And then gently hugging the knees in towards the chest. So you can grab on the back of the thighs or the tops of the shins. I'm rocking side to side if that feels good. Maybe you bring your chin in towards your knees. And then release and relax it all the way down. Allow the left leg to plant back on the ground, keeping hold of that right leg. And then your choice, you can either stay here working on the hug, or if you've got some more space, maybe we take that left leg and bring it long. And then in this space, this is for you to explore. So maybe there's some hip circles, some side to side. Maybe we're bringing the knee slightly out towards that right rib cage. Maybe we've got some space to bring the knees slightly over so that we stretch through that right side bum and low back. Remember your breath. And then we'll come back through center. One more gentle hug. And then release it down. Right foot stays planted. Hug the left knee in. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you extend that right leg long. And again, just moving your body. Maybe you're coming out to the left. Maybe you're bringing the knee over and across. And then you'll come back through center, bending back in both knees, planting the feet. Allow the hands to come down by your side, gentle press through the feet, lift the hips, give that low back a little bit of love. Maybe rock side to side. Maybe there's some gentle cat-cow motions. And then lower back down. So from here, we're going to come into a reclined tree pose. So the right leg will extend long. If you need a block or a blanket to support your left knee, you can go ahead and use it. Allowing the right leg to be long, the left foot comes to the inner thigh, and then allow the left leg to be heavy. So if we need to support, anywhere on the outside of the leg is fine. And then from here, you can leave your hands anywhere they feel comfortable, as long as the shoulders are relaxed and the chest is open. If you're feeling like you really want to continue with these deeper lengthening and stretches, you can take your arms maybe towards a cactus position or overhead, if that feels okay. And then in this space, Bring your awareness to the sole of your right foot. Relaxing the sole of the foot and the ankle. Allowing the leg to be heavy. The entire back body connected towards the ground and the earth is your grounding. And that's going to support you. So we want to feel the support in the back body and allow yourself to just settle in. Find a rhythm of breath that allows you to just slow down. Bringing the awareness to the inside of the left leg, the inner thigh and knee area. Ask yourself, do you need support or can you relax just a little more? A full deep breath in and out. Maybe we find just a little more length. And then we'll release the arms down, back by the side. Help that knee back in. Bending in the right knee. Pressing through the feet, palms press down. Lift that low back. Give a little rock side to side. Lower back down. Other side. So from here, lengthening in the left leg. Opening the right knee to the right side. Maybe your hands are staying down on this side. Maybe the side's a little bit tighter. Maybe you've got a lot going on and you're really stressed and your psoas is screaming at you. If that's the case, support the leg. Be gentle. If you've got space, take the arms to an overhead position. And then bringing all of the awareness in towards that left foot. Feeling the length of the leg. The entire back body supported again. Breathing that smooth rhythm of breath all the way from the sole of the foot to the crown of the head. If there's more space, maybe there's a gentle shift or reach, settle in. Nice deep breath in and a full exhale. And then lower the hands back down. Help that knee back to center.
pressing into the feet one more time. Lift the hips, give the low back a little rock side to side. And release it back down. So from here, we're going to come into reclined bound angle. So if you need support from the blocks on the outside of the leg, you can. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. Another option that you can do to make it a little bit more passive is if you've got your blanket, you can roll it into just a little bit of a pillow, so something that resembles a bolster, just a little bit more of a chest opening. And then if you've got that option and you have it behind your low back, we want to make sure that there's no pain. And then from here, hands can rest gently in the creases of the hips, maybe on the ribs. Or if you're feeling a cactus position, a nice opening in the chest, you can take your arms out wide. Give your head a little rock from side to side just to open up any tension in the back of the neck. Maybe there's a bit of a lift and lower of the chin. Relax and breathe here. If you're craving more space, if you're craving that lift and that reach, arms can come overhead. If you feel like you have a lot of tension that you really just need to get rid of in that pelvic area, in the inner thigh area, we can create a little bit of resistance here, a little bit of fatiguing of the glutes by pressing through the pinky toe edge of the feet, lifting the hips just slightly. Hold as long as you want. You'll start to feel little shakes and then relax back down. You can do that as many times as you like. By fatiguing our glute muscles, it allows us to open a little bit deeper in through the inner thighs because the bum doesn't engage. It doesn't try to hold on or help us. So if you're doing that press, maybe you take one more lift, breathing the entire time, feeling the shakes if they're there. And then lower back down. Hands will come back down by your side. Help those knees together. And then supporting yourself on your side of choice. I'm going to use my left side. We'll roll onto your side body. Fetal position. Just hang out there and recover for a second. And then helping yourself towards a seat. All right, everybody doing okay? Give me a little thumbs up. Sound is still okay, we're good. I was doing an online thing earlier in the week, and
the sound, she lied down on her side and the sound went, it was gone. And they were there for like 45 minutes, not knowing that nobody was listening to them. They couldn't hear what they were saying. So I'm glad that everything is good. All right, so relax the shoulders in the seated position. You can cross your legs. Maybe if it's a little bit tight, this front foot comes a little bit further forward. We really want to find a good seat through the sit bones. Relax the shoulders and then roll the chin down towards the chest. And then gentle movements side to side. And the next time the left ear finds its way towards the left shoulder, we're going to stay there. You have the option to lift and lower the chin slightly. Just really find that spot where you feel a good stretch. And then if it feels okay, maybe we take that right arm and reach it behind the back. So left ear to the left shoulder, right arm behind the back if it feels okay. If you've got lots of space, you could grab a hold of that elbow crease and allow the arms to come into a bit of a bind behind the back. Take some time to make sure there's space in between your teeth. Relax the jaw, clear the palate. And then come back through center, release any bind of the arms. Maybe there's a roll of the shoulders. And then we bring right ear towards the right shoulder. Lift and lower, find that tight spot, settle in. And the left arm, if it feels okay, can come behind the back. Maybe we're finding that bind of the arms. Releasing the bind of the arm. Back through center. And just give the shoulders a good roll forward and back. And then from here, I'm taking a gentle twist towards the left side. So right hand over and across. Left hand somewhere beside you or behind you if you want to wrap it behind, looking for that hip crease, that's available. Gaze over the left shoulder, maybe drop the chin down towards the chest. Your inhale will bring you back through center, unwind, and then find your twist on the other side. And then your inhale will bring you back through center. So we're going to just make our way through a few seated cat-cow. I like to place my hands on the tops of my knees. For you, it can be anywhere where you feel like you have a nice broad chest. And then on the inhale, press the ribs forward, press the chest forward. Maybe you look up. On your exhale, round everything in, tucking the belly button. And then back and forth. Really try to be dramatic with this. So using a range of motion that is not something you would typically do, you really want to just open up wherever you can.
All right, so from here, we're going to need our rolled up blanket. So if you've got a blanket or a towel, whatever you've got, we're looking to make a bit of a thicker roll. It really doesn't matter the size of the roll at the end of the day, as long as it feels okay in your body. So we're going to position this horizontally on our mat. This exercise is to open up the thoracic spine. So we're thinking about mid-spine area here. We do want our head to be able to connect to the floor. So if you create your roll and it's too big and your head can't touch the floor, then take a little bit out of the roll. So to come into this guy, we come back onto our back, bending the knees, lower yourself down. We want to align the blanket right beneath the bottom of the shoulder blades, so that when we come into this position, we find a lift to the rib cage, heavy shoulders, heavy head. So for some of you, you may want to leave your arms close to your body. If you've got the mobility and you can open your chest, maybe you come in to this position. If you want to extend your legs, you can also come into the full variation of our supported fish by extending your legs. Our goal here is to just let the body be heavy, minimal effort here from you. Let the blanket do the work. Now, typically, we would hold this posture for considerably longer in our classes because the thoracic spine needs a lot of time to open. We carry a lot of tension there. So for the purposes of today, we aren't going to stay here too long, but we are going to continue with this effort directed towards our thoracic spine. So take a deep breath in and a full exhale. If you've extended your legs, rebend the knees. Allow your left arm and left elbow to be a bit of support to you as you roll yourself on towards your left side. Now our goal here is to have the roll right aligned with the side of the breast and the rib cage. And then option number one, we can support our head. You could use a block as a bit of a pillow if that feels better for you. If you've got lots of space, you could use your arm. More space, reach the arm overhead. And then more space, we could lengthen the legs, bringing the arm overhead. And then in this position, we will breathe. And then a little tiny rock side to side. So super small. If someone was looking at you, they probably wouldn't be able to notice that you are moving. Just kind of a massage for that area beneath the armpit. And then from here, we'll find stillness. Let your head be heavy. Breathing from the pinky finger on the left hand all the way down to the pinky toe. Maybe you notice some sort of sensation or energy that can show up in kind of little tingles. We never want any numbness here. So if you've got it overhead and it starts to become numb, then change your position because we don't want to have a numb feeling ever. Take a deep breath in and a full exhale. And then use your right hand to support you. Press it in towards your mat, helping yourself over to the other side. I'm just going to flip here so that you can still see me and I don't have my back to you. Making your way on towards that right side, whichever variation you're choosing. And then once you find that settled position, gentle rock, side to side. Softening any tension in your jaw or your forehead. Notice any resistance or fighting of the body. Take a full deep breath in and out. And last couple breaths, really feeling the breath from the sole of the right foot all the way up towards the fingers. And then from here, we're going to use that left hand to support us, helping yourself up, and then coming into a child's pose. So child's pose, you can utilize the blanket if you like, could go beneath the knees, or could be a standard child's pose. So from this position, we want to be able to let the body be heavy. So for most people, that means to take the knees a little bit wider and let the belly fall in between the legs. You have a choice. You can reach your arms out wide and far, or maybe they're more bent. Allow your head to rest and become heavy. If it feels okay, a gentle massage of the forehead, rocking from one eyebrow to the other. And then we'll take this guy into a lateral variation. So walking the hands up and over towards the top left corner of your mat, sinking your hips down. And then you can either choose to rest your head on your bicep, or if it feels okay, you can come back down towards the mat. Your inhale will bring you back through center, and then up and over to the other side. And then your inhale brings you back through center. Bring yourself on towards your hands and knees. Neutral tabletop position. Wrists, elbows, and shoulders in line, knees hip width apart. Take some time to open through the palms and then practice some dexterity in the fingertips. So we really want to grip the mat with your fingertips and then roll yourself back and forth through some more cat and cow. Taking time in each of the variation, explore, spend time here. Maybe there's some sways side to side. And then add a couple of circles to the hips. So you want to draw the circle with the tailbone, or maybe it's more of a hula hoop motion. Couple times in each direction. And then when you're ready, planting through those fingertips, tuck your toes, find downward facing dog. In that downward dog position, move and shift high onto the toes, low to the heels. Maybe moving the weight slightly towards the shoulders and back. Lowering yourself back down to your hands and knees. Move through that cat and cow once again. One more time, tuck the toes, press in through the fingertips, downward facing dog. The point of our downward facing dog here is to create an inversion. Inversion meaning anytime the head is below the heart. And in that inversion, we want to think about our breath. We want to think about this active energy of just clearing everything away. Full deep breath in. Let everything release like it's coming from the crown of the head all the way down. Full deep breath in and out. Shift the weight forward. Lower down to the knees. Maybe you cross your ankles or somehow find your way to a seat. We are going to set up for another of these chest openers. So if you have blocks, we want to do a tall block and a medium height of the block. If you do not have a block, we're going to go back to that roll and you're going to create yourself one of these rolls to have vertically. So whichever variation you're going to choose, our goal here is to open the chest, to take the tension away from the shoulders. So find yourself in a space where that is, you can feel that in your body. If that means bringing your blocks down to a lower height, then maybe you do that. So by bending in the knees, we keep the low back safe. Lower yourself down. This block is horizontally, so it's again going to go across the back of my shoulder blades. This block now supports the very base of my skull. So when we lower down, we position. Maybe we need to adjust a little, but when you get there, you should feel relatively supported. So in this, we're going to keep our knees bent so that we can focus on the opening of the chest. If you are using a block and you want to take this into a little bit of a different variation, you could take the arms and bind them behind the back, kind of like we did at the beginning by grabbing for opposite elbow creases. And then in this space, we're just directing our breath across the collarbones, across the rib cage, but allowing everything else to fall heavy. And take this opportunity here to check in with your mind and your thoughts and the pattern of your thoughts. And if you're feeling the stress of the holidays or the pandemic or family, whatever it may be, this gives us an opportunity to just push pause, acknowledge your stressors, acknowledge the things that make you feel stressed or unwell, and then just push pause on them and say to yourself, right now is just my time, just for me, no one else. Just three more breath here. And in those three breath, I want you to direct the breath to the very center of your chest, your heart space. Breathing into your heart space. Create space there for yourself. And release. And again, breathing in, create space, hold yourself. Release. And when you take your last breath, I want you to breathe it in and then give yourself a sigh out. Unbinding any of the arm positions you may have. Support yourself with whichever arm feels more supportive. Roll yourself towards your side. And then come back up. So we will remove our blocks or our roll. And then we're going to come back to this roll here. So same roll. We want a little bit of a bigger roll, a little bit of a thicker roll. We're going to place it at the bottom of our mat. Now this is going to be for our legs. If you have a lot of tension and stress in your neck, that's been me for the last little while, you have the option to put your head on a block. So what we'll do is we'll line up the occipital area of the head, which is the very base of the skull, where basically where the ponytail may lie. And if you're using the block, we want to find that bumpy spot on the back of the head and allow the block to press into that. If you don't want to, if you're happy to allow your head to just rest on the ground, go ahead and do that. So we want the roll to support the backside of the knees. If you do have any tension in your low back, maybe you elevate this with blocks so that you're actually feeling supported. So just make sure wherever you are, you're not feeling any tension in the low back. Finding yourself in that reclined position. A gentle tuck of the chin if it's available. Take the feet maybe a little bit wider than hip width apart if it feels okay. And then rest your hands where they're comfortable. We're going to welcome a little bit of pranayama or breath control here. And in this space, there's no retention of the breath. So it's a flow in and out. We're not holding the breath at all. Start by breathing in, fill yourself up with air, and then audibly release. And then find that rhythm of breath, that calming rhythm of breath. This space on the back body fully supported. Your head and your neck relaxed. From here, we add just the tiniest bit of length to that inhale. And the tiniest bit of length to the exhale. Now we're not going to change much with the breath other than the inhale comes in through the nose. The exhale comes out the mouth. Your own rhythm, your own timing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Take a full deep breath in, the deepest breath that you can. Exhale fully from the nose or the mouth, your choice. And then take a bend in the knees. If you have the block beneath your head, go ahead and remove it. And then from here, we are going to take our Shavasana. So I'm going to cue Shavasana on our side today because we've spent quite a bit of time on our back body. So in our side body Shavasana, it might feel comfortable to put a blanket or something behind your knees. Maybe you're covering yourself up. You go ahead and choose your Shavasana position. I'm going to be in a seated position here, just so that I can properly guide you into your Shavasana. So the first few breaths here, maybe there's a little bit of attention. Maybe you're focusing on those deeper inhales and exhales. Taking time to scan the body. Notice what you're feeling, what you notice about the quality of your breath. Allowing the screen of the mind to slow down, or maybe even pause. Recognizing that our effort today has been for the good of your entire body,
your entire neurological system. Soften the tension from your eyebrows and your forehead. Allowing this restful place to be exactly what you need right now. And be okay with just being here. Slowly starting to bring awareness back to your body and your breath. A gentle scan of the body. Do we still feel heavy and relaxed? Can we take a deep breath in and then on your exhale, sigh and let yourself feel so heavy one more time. And then gentle movements in the fingers and the toes. Slowly awakening yourself and eventually finding a seat. And then from your seated position, taking time to reestablish that good posture that we've worked on. A nice broad chest, open heart, deep breath in. Audible release. One more time, breathe it in. And let it go. You can leave your hands as they are, or if you like, bring them towards heart center. Taking a moment to honor yourself, your health, and your practice. Thank you for sharing that with me, guys. Namaste.